Welcome to the Orange is the New Black podcast, a podcast for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, with my co-host, Zim Houday. Zim, say what's up.
What's going on, people, man? Hello, world. We have a very, very special guest today. I mentioned it briefly on Twitter just now. Our partner, Anthony Kazenza, he mentioned it briefly just now, too. But this is the Orange is the New Black podcast, and we have Shawn Williams, safety for the Cincinnati Bengals, on with us today. Say hello to the people, Shawn.
How y'all doing? Shawn Williams here.
Yes, sir. So the questions started pouring in. I think I had some of my own questions, like, even before we got into that. And I just wanted to ask you, and we talked about this briefly before we even got on, like, what's going on in the world? And a lot of people want to know in the NFL player's mind, like, what is going on? What are you doing from a preparation standpoint in this time of uncertainty with the COVID-19 virus and all these different things? How are you keeping yourself fresh?
I mean, that's funny you just said it. I mean, it's just a lot of uncertainty right now, uncertainty of when the season's going to start back up. The facilities are closed right now, so when we'll be able to get back in the facilities to kind of get things rolling. That's funny, actually, because I kind of just, before I got on with you guys, I was in an appointment seeing a guy just trying to keep my body right, Obviously, we still have to work out the best we can. Ourselves, if we have some trainers that are willing to take the risk to come out and train us, that too, but just trying to stay in shape and stay strong and take care of your body. So that's all we can do right now, and stay safe, and hopefully that things will get back to normal pretty soon.
Hey, Shawn, I appreciate you again for answering these questions for us. Just to kind of piggyback on that one, a lot of people want to know, they saw you play safety a lot last year, or not safety, but linebacker last year, between linebacker and safety. With us signing Von Bell and him coming from a three-safety scheme, there's plenty of room for three safeties to be used next year by the Bengals. Is that where you kind of see yourself playing at, or is it a linebacker role? Or
I'm not really sure, but I think, there's always those opportunities, like you said, for the three-safety system. But I just kind of want to get back in and kind of see what the plans are. I've been talking to, Lou and some of the coaches, they're still, with so much focus on the draft right now, they haven't had a chance to kind of see how everybody fits in a certain role. But for me, honestly, I would prefer, probably playing a little bit more safety. That's where I feel like my niche was. Last year, the linebacker position was kind of new to me, and it was kind of on the run, and kind of had to figure out as I go. And you could tell I wasn't as comfortable with that as I've been at safety. The year before, last year, I had five interceptions, so I had started becoming to my own. Learning to have Jesse Bates beside me and kind of figure out him and who he is, and just everything was new with a new defensive coordinator. Most people don't realize in 7 years I've had basically 5 defensive coordinators, so I haven't really had a chance to play in the same system for more than 2-3 years, to be comfortable with. So I feel like before last year I was coming into like a real comfort zone and had great stats. So last year kind of fell off because of, the way that we had a new defensive coordinator, a new head coach, and everything was kind of new. So, you had gray areas at time, and learning to play multiple positions. I think one game I played corner, one game I played safety, one game I played linebacker, and some games I did all three in one game. So it was kind of new when things were going on the fly. And with the NFL, how it works, defenses aren't the same week to week. Defenses are different week to week, so it's not like you learn one thing. There are a lot of carryover, but mostly it's different by week.
Let me ask you, as you saying that too, what do you feel about the direction of the NFL just in general as far as the safety position as it relates to the linebacker? Like, for me, I don't put as much value on the linebacker position, I guess, just judging by, just going by what I'm saying, what a lot of teams just passing the ball a lot more, and even against the running teams, just going sideline to sideline. It's just a rarity, I think, to get a Ray Lewis, I guess, from the linebacker position is my thought process. But what do you think overall, like, the evolution of the safety position? Do you see teams just playing way more safeties? Do you think that, like, if you had your perfect defense, what do you see it going?
I think safeties are becoming like a hot commodity now, man, because I think the value is going back up because of the reason you just said, because the offenses are being so dynamic and so explosive with the great tight ends, and they prevent problems for the Ray Lewis, the old physical downhill type linebackers. You know, the Tom Brady, you know, they would flex so many guys out, Rex Burkhead and all those guys out that they had out of the backfield, and it's just mixed match problems. So I think safeties are coming more and more valuable, more and more important to the game, because you can get the kind of best of both worlds. You can get a physical guy that can tackle in the box as well as a guy that can get out and cover and play in space.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Shawn, you kind of touched on it earlier in reference to talking about as the season went on, you had to kind of learn this new defense. And obviously not just you, every member on that defense kind of had to do the same thing. What do you think changed in the second half of the season? Because it seemed in the second half of the season the defense really tightened up.
Mm-hmm. I just think guys just started to kind of coaches started to take a little bit off our plate and allowing us to just go make it simple so the guys can go play fast, not have to think, and just make plays and just do what they're normally used to rather than trying to fit them in a scheme that they're not used to. So I just think like everybody just kind of calmed down and got off the panic button a little bit and just went back to the fundamental basics of football and just playing, just play fast, be in your gap, be assigned, be gap assigned, and just playing football.
I think, you know, like in when you're saying like the gaps in football and just a small, I always preach this to people too, like, and you tell me if this is true. Like I lean more heavily in today's NFL with more offensive production, and the only reason why I lean that way is because I think it takes less of the weight off of a defense. So when you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs or somebody like that, if they're putting up 40 points a game, it allows their defense to go into attack mode where they're rushing the passer. You're putting teams in a one-sided thing. I just wanted to tell like the people, I guess, because they're looking at a team that just came off a 2-win season. Do you think that the bridge between a successful defense this year from the Cincinnati Bengals is that far-fetched from, you know, like maybe some of the shortcomings that you had last year? Do you feel like there's a big gap that you guys got to fill to make it work, or do you think that's more like if we get more offensive production? I know you don't want to put the offense on the spot, but maybe if you get more offensive production, maybe
that makes sense. That makes sense because we were looking at 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when we didn't create a lot of turnovers, we didn't have a lot of interceptions, but people didn't realize we weren't scoring a lot of points. So it's easy to get interceptions when you're forcing the team to throw on you. When you're down 14 points in the third and fourth quarter, quarterbacks are going to be more careful with the ball. They're not going to force anything. They're going to run the ball more play action, you know, more safe plays, safe throws, because in their mindset, opponents feel like if they get up on you and they get a significant lead, like a two-score lead or whatever, they start being more conservative. They're not the quarterbacks. Defense say, look, don't force it. Like let us go win the game for you, you know, and that's hopefully what we'll be able to play in more situations like that this year. You know, we can have a very productive offense, and you know,
it work with each other.
Yeah, we get up on people. It work hand in hand. We get up on people. We allow Sam, Carlos, Gino, those guys to go rush, you know, and try to get sacks, and us on the back end we cover and do our thing. And if the quarterback makes a mistake and force it, that's when, you know, we get to capitalize on opportunities and create an interception for ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, it was definitely a busy offseason for the Bengals with them adding a defensive tackle like DJ Reader and Josh Bynes at linebacker. Does it seem to the players that the Bengals are committed to getting better, being that they haven't really spent that much on outside free agents in the past?
Right. I mean, it shows that they're trending in a different direction than, like you said, than they have been in the past. So it it shows, the players and the fans and the support around the city that they are trying to make moves to trend in the right direction, as you said. So hopefully we'll put that together, and next week, 8-9 days, whatever we have, we'll see more players that they draft. We'll kind of see how things start to come into play.
Yes, sir. I guess the next question I would have is, like, going into the draft, do you have any expectations, or is there anything that maybe you think that they should probably look into? Like, is there any position or anything that you think could maybe take this team from like 0 to 100?
Man, I've my last 7 years, I've tried to sit down and watch and say, oh, we're gonna take this guy, or man, we have to take that guy, and I've always been wrong, man. So I try to not even figure that stuff
How you think we feel? How you think we feel as fans? We sit around all day.
Yeah, once you know it's for sure, and it's like, oh man, all right, I could deal with that. So it'll be something different than you kind of expected. So, I mean, watching the draft is fun. It kind of brings back memories.
On your radar? Any players on your radar that you're just a fan of, maybe from the college? I know you probably don't get enough time to watch them during the season, but maybe in this off season, any players that you just seen that you just like?
Nah, man, I'm not. I mean, I kind of like a lot of guys, man, from several different teams, So
some Georgia Bulldogs, my
Georgia Bulldogs. I just kind of root for them hard and kind of watch and see where I see who we pick, and then I just kind of wait and see, where my guys from Georgia are gonna go. So, yeah, it'll be interesting this year. They have some big names, some big guys coming out, so I'm gonna watch them for those guys as well.
Yeah, speaking of the draft, Shawn, could you describe to us what your draft experience was like from a player's perspective? How does that situation kind of go down?
Man, it's an emotional roller coaster, man, because it's so much unknown. You're watching guys go before you, and you're like, man, like what? And then it's like, from my draft experience, I was like, man, the Bengals, I was like, that was one team that I never thought that I would go to, because I had a horrible interview process with them at the combine. It wasn't horrible, but it was just different. I don't know if you talked to guys previously about the draft process, but when I talked to the Bengals at the combine, that was one team I walked away like, well, it's 31 more, because they for sure had drafted me, because
what do you think went so wrong though? Like, you just don't think you gave them the wanted?
Yeah. I didn't want to talk about the situation that they wanted to talk about. So when you go to the combine, when teams bring you in, you have these meetings. They want to talk schemes. They want you to draw up your scheme. They show you your plays on tape and have you draw up on the board, and they kind of see. They want to talk football. So when I went into the one with the Bengals, it was just it was weird questions. I would rather say they weren't football related. I won't get into any specifics, but it was just weird, and it just caught me by surprise. And I was just not even answering the questions at one point. So I thought I kind of looked in the wrong way. So yeah.
It's crazy to hear you say, man, 7 years later, because I feel like early on, I guess because being heavy special teams and being a standout in special teams from a fan standpoint, I mean, time has really flown for us. I think the average fan, I don't think, thinks that you played for the Bengals for 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, it goes fast, man. I did it the hard way, the blue-collar way for the first 2.5 years, special team, just trying to find my role, find my niche, and, learn about the NFL, just trying to stay in it and prove myself. But the time does fly, man. The last 4 I know have, blinked and was gone.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions from Twitter, and then we could probably get towards the end of this, because I know your time is very, very valuable. And this kind of goes with the last thing I said. By you moving and getting your credibility up and going and being a big impact player at the safety position, were there some players early on, or wide receivers or tight ends, that you absolutely maybe even feared or respected to the point where you just were dude, I don't know what I'm going to do this game? Because someone asked on Twitter, who are your top 5 wide receivers in the league? And I don't know if that kind of goes hand in hand. For me, when y'all were playing Antonio Brown, I was scared to death as a fan.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, every team has its weapon, but, the first thing that popped in mind when you said that was Tyreek Hill. That dude is just crazy, explosive, electric, quick, fast. And I remember, in a game, maybe, I don't know, it was preseason. No, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, like first play of the game, he ran the slant, and I was outside of leverage. I'm like, man, there's no way I'm letting this dude run by me. And I was so focused on not letting him run by me, he just ran the quick slant, caught the ball, and it was like 15 yards before I could catch him. It was just him.
Unreal.
Like, yeah, he's just unreal, man. Like,
you got another four? You got another four guys that maybe? This question specifically is somebody saying.
There's a lot of cats, man. I mean, all those guys, DeAndre Hopkins, like Adams up at Green Bay, Julio, even Calvin Ridley, man. I feel like most teams, like their 1-2 receivers are just dynamic and explosive in all ways. So I won't go too deep into my top five because, man, I don't want to rub nobody the wrong way.
Right.
And you might got to see him.
Real quick, Shawn, who is faster between John Ross and Tyreek Hill? Are they like the same speed, or would you say that?
I
knew that
know.
question was about to come.
John Ross is like a sneaky fast, like how you get by me, but Tyreek is like, that was too quick to be true. So it's like a quick fast, and there's like, John don't look like he's running fast, but it's like, why do I have to run so fast to try to catch up? So, I don't know. It'll depend on distance on that one.
Right.
Yeah, I was at training camp probably, I want to say it was like 2 years ago, and it was a John Ross one, and he wasn't, I think Drake Kirkpatrick was lined up with him, but I mean, I don't know about like assignments, but you were back there. Mm-hmm. and he got passed.
Yeah, you can't judge. You got to be able to judge that speed, man. So he'll get by the best one. So say that.
Someone, my guy Monty Lobb on Twitter says, "What are you looking to improve most in your game next season?"
What up, Monty? Man, I just want to get back to just being me and just making as many impactful plays as I can, man. I feel like I still have a lot of football left in me right now. I just want to get back to being. I want to be not only the leader, but I really want to be the star of that defense. So just making plays. I want to set goals, and I want to make my first Pro Bowl. I want to, lead my division, my AFC and interceptions. I just want to do it all, man. I just want to contribute, and ball out, and win some football games.
All right, that's definitely what we like to hear, Shawn. And I love how you mentioned that 2018 season because that definitely stuck out in my mind as definitely your best season. And if we can get you back to that, man, the sky's the limit.
Get back to that, yep. With Jesse, I already know what he's going to do. He's going to give me his all. Like, people don't realize, like, the last 2 years, we both had over 100 tackles, so that little stat, like, people don't even realize that. So they just look at the ones that you missed. Oh, you missed a tackle. Well, we got 100.
That boy's spitting, giving you them numbers now. Y'all listening to this, he's giving you them numbers now. Y'all better watch out. Because there's a lot of people that's a little unsure, I think, out there. But, he's giving you them numbers.
It's just, I don't normally do a lot of media talking or talk about this, but, when you look, they can talk really good about one player, like how he's so dynamic and how he's just a great player and so much better. Just like me and Jesse. Like, Jesse gets a lot of credit, and I want that for him. I want Jesse to do his thing. I push him to be the best he can be. He's going to be great. He's going to be phenomenal. But if you look at the last 2 years that we played together, we both have over 100 tackles in both years, and we both have six picks in 2 years. So it's like, okay, like, man, we really be out there doing it. But, a lot of stuff really goes unnoticed when you're on a 2-14 team. So there's a lot of great football, but there's a lot of stuff we can build on to be better. So we know that inside the locker room. So we just got to go out there and do it, man.
For sure. And this is my final question that I have for you, or it's more like a statement. I've always been a big fan of you. I remember I had talked to Pac-Man like a couple of years ago, and he said, man, nobody wants Shawn Williams coming downhill. And one thing that I always told people is that any game that I'm at, I always hear a Shawn Williams hit. And you need some guys like that going to come downhill and strike at that level that you are. One of my favorite plays ever in the experience that I had, this is in Pittsburgh. This may have been the last time I think y'all beat the Steelers or whatever, but you had the game-winning pick. This is the Le'Veon Bell knee game. You had the game-winning pick.
That was my first career interception, man. Of course I remember that.
Right on the sideline, right? So that is
right.
So for me, that's one of the things that I never ever forget. Do you have a favorite memory of anything since you've been in the NFL, or maybe a favorite play?
I mean, actually, both of my favorite ones have been in Pittsburgh. I've really had a great time in Pittsburgh. I mean, I had my first career interception in Pittsburgh. My first career interception for a touchdown, and my whole football career first defensive touchdown in Pittsburgh. So yeah, when we go to Pittsburgh, I definitely look forward to that, man. So a lot of great plays be made there.
Ace, what you got for him?
Shawn, if Bengals fans can look forward to one big thing, I guess this next season, what is it that they can look forward to?
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of excitement. You know, I feel like this year is going to be different than no other. You know, with the guys we're going to draft, with the guys that we signed in free agency, the guys we have coming back, and just being healthy. You know, the guys that we'll have, AJ. You know, everybody will finally be healthy for the most part, and we'll have new guys. I just think that look forward to like the excitement around the city and knowing that, you know, you guys are going to get our best this year. You know, last year wasn't good enough, and we know that. You guys know that. So definitely the excitement and this year is going to be big.
Yes, sir. I believe, man, but you know, I guess my opinion's a little bit biased, but man, I really appreciate the time. I really appreciate you. Like you said, you don't really talk to the media that much. I wish that you did, but that's what guys like me and Ace are here for, to make sure that we get the message out as much as we can. I want to highlight you the most I can, and anytime that you got a chance to, like, you know, talk to us, whatever, please do, man, because I really, really think the people need to hear like what you got to say.
But I appreciate it, man. You know, I'm more of a, you know, get my job done before I, you know, talk to the media. So, but I'll definitely try to, you know, reach out and do a little bit more when I can.
Yeah, Shawn, definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it.